Alright, what's up? Today is March 29, I guess. I don't know, no, 28, Tuesday. Gonna go over my recap videos. Couple plays. I have my small account with Thinkorswim, like $5,000, and I ended up going long here, just 50 shares for a swing play because it was just holding this uptrend. NKTR on the daily, and it was just making all-time highs, I think. I need to go back to my notes, but so I ended up buying this back last Thursday, and I held through. And as a matter of fact, on my bigger account with IB, I wanted to short sell the open here, so I was trying to box it, but as you can see, it didn't fall through. I ended up covering around this area. That was yesterday. That was the only trade that I made, and then just took the small loss. And then today spiked up to 23.90. Shout out to my girl, Mrs. K. I ended up covering here because she told me to. And my point target was profit target was $25, but I'm okay just taking the profits here. And that's NKTR. The other one that I went in at the open, I was trying to short sell this one, no shares. So then I said, okay, I'm gonna get the bounce play. I ended up going for a bounce play here on my other computer. I have a green arrow. Got in at 20, ended up dropping and stopped me out. So then I just pretty much ignored it for the rest of the day, or I want to take that back. Then I wanted to come here for a bear flag. Bear flag, I think I have Fibonacci around this area. I wanted to go here at 1972, but there was no shares, same thing. So that profit that I missed. Then the other one that was back and forth was AAOI, and then this one here, I went short. It stopped me out because my stop was way too tight. Stopped me out. Then I said, okay, this thing's just gonna reverse, and I went long here. I was up, then stopped me out again. Same thing. I just didn't learn my lesson. It was just too tight. And then this thing was just bouncing off of this, just a bouncing ball effect, knocking out all the support that it had, and then just pretty much bled. I missed all this. I just watched it. I was in chat with Mrs. K talking about this one, and we pretty much just saw it bleed without us in it. But the other one I want to talk about, VRAY. VRAY is just an overextended stock. I've been prowling this one for a while. I ended up putting some Fibonacci's around this area. Came and touched it, then it just started getting weak. I ended up going around 1020, and then it just, I think it was around this area right before this parabolic dot, knocked it down. Now here's the thing, big screw up, and this is the reason I make recap videos. I could go back and talk it over, but I ended up getting out here like around $10 right before the big drop. So I took a 20-cent gain. The problem was that VRAY, I made a recap video a couple weeks ago, or last week, ended up squeezing me. I forgot which day it was, but it was doing the same pattern, holding VWAP, rather than VWAP, and the thing was, it was holding like this, and all of a sudden just pops. So I was like, you know what, I don't want to get caught on that. I'm just gonna ignore it. I'm just gonna get out of it. I ended up getting out, and look at all the profit that I missed. I saw this bounce here, a little bear flag. I could have got in, I didn't. So I ended up dropping more, and so same thing, not be impatient. The other one that I could say I nailed the top, but not the whole meat of the move, was same thing, FLXN, another overextended. I saw it here, sitting here around 29.50. Same thing, Fibonacci. I was waiting for this parabolic dot. I went in here around 29.10. And boom, it dropped. Cover some here, it bounced, and then I think I covered the rest here at VWAP, and I missed a whole another dollar move. Shame on my part, but at the same time, VSR last week screwed me up, so my mental state's all out of whack. It was a nice, recovery. Then TBT, that's the other one that I went in. I went in this one after I saw it bounce, and it was showing weakness here around this area. So I went in right after it knocked down this parabolic dot. 39.30 was my entry. I came down here, cracked through VWAP, and then when the RSI here was getting green, I ended up just getting out. 38.80 was one of my X's. The other one was 38.90. So I guess 38.85 was my average. But I guess it's hard to get the exact bottom, but at the same time, I guess that was a good play. Ended up scrapping some there, scalping some. And then shout out to my boy John. He's the one that brought this one up. This one, I guess, is under SSR, so it had a big bounce from 670 all the way to the top. So when he mentioned it and I saw it, what I liked about this one is that there's some resistance here, pre-market. Plus, you also have another level of protection up here, and it has some Fibonacci's. So I had like about 3 levels of protection. It was kind of on the hot RSI, and the parabolic that was about to get knocked down. So what happened is that this thing did drop. I said I'm not going to chase because I didn't want to get a bad entry. And I said, and then I put it under the 1 minute. I even told the guys in the chat is that the only way I'll go in is this one comes back up and makes a lower high. So I drew my trend line again, my other computer that I have. Drew my trend line, and I ended up going here at 742 after the bounce, and just confirm. I ended up getting half of my position out at 724, I think. And I kind of felt like I was rushed because you know, I was gonna go have lunch with my wife, and she was waiting for me. But my profit target was gonna be the VWAP. Didn't get to VWAP. I just ended up taking the rest of it out here, around this area. Took my profits. A nice scalp play again. And then the last one that I played. Let me see. Oh, ESPR. ESPR. The thing about this one is that I know how it behaves, and when I saw it is after it make this big drop, and I had some support and Fibonacci's down in the $34 area. So when I went in here around 35.80 something. I said, okay, this thing's gonna drop. It's gonna go touch 34, and then from there it's gonna bounce. But they didn't do that. Came up to the VWAP. You know, my buddy Billy. You know, we're just discussing about this one, and I said, okay, based on what it does at VWAP, I'll make my decision if I'm gonna get out or if I'm going to stay in. So I ended up getting rejected on the VWAP. I ended up covering pretty much flat, break even at this point. So yeah, those were my plays. NKTR, I wanted a short, even though I am long. I was long on my small account. I wanted a short here, and I think Mrs. K ended up taking a short there. Good play. Gives you 34 to 50 cent. Gives you about 3%, 2% gain. Anyways, those were my plays for today. Tomorrow, the one that's looking very overextended and it's coming to a Fibonacci is this one here, B1. So what I expect this for this one to happen is that, given that it's low volume, this thing might spike in the morning up to 760, and then from there it'll probably give you another play, just like VRAY and FLXN. But other than that, oh, sorry, forgot one more, Dries. I've been shorting this one. I ended up covering here, I think. I took a 9-penny loss. I ended up coming back in for another short with bigger size at 151. And I don't feel like holding this overnight because it has a gap to fill. And there's a lot of chat rooms pumping this one. So I ended up taking a 2-penny win. But that's it. And it looks like Parker Vision spiking. So another interesting one. Anyway, that's it. I don't want to make my videos too long. I'll talk to you guys later.